Welcome everyone to this edition of ICTV Headlines. Alongside Rob Harrington, I am your host, Dijana Kunovac. As we mentioned in the earlier show, the final 2014 Scout.com basketball rankings were released for that class, meaning all three Carolina signees had their final evaluation. We talked about Justin Jackson, the highest ranked in that class, a 5-star at number 10. And now on to the second highest ranked in the Carolina class, Theo Pinson, who was at 27 but bumped his way up to a 5-star and is now at 19. So Rob, what's going on? What was the reason for the bump? Let's start off with that.
That has been a foregone conclusion for months. Pinson was, I thought, better than that all along, to be honest. And in his senior season, he affirmed that. He also punctuated it with McDonald's All-American game appearance. He was very good in the practices. I thought he actually outplayed Justin Jackson in the practices. And not that that's fully indicative of anything, but it certainly does give you some preview of what to expect from him next season. He didn't play as well in the game, but I would encourage everyone to completely forget about that. It's completely meaningless. But great senior year, strong postseason. There are still question marks, but I think that his inclusion in the top 20 to me was a very easy call.
You've watched him for several years now. Where have you seen him improve the most over the course of his career?
He has become a much more polished and confident scorer. Before he was a utility athlete, a swingman, a transition scorer, a defender, but now you can give him the ball in half court. He gets to the rim, he goes to the free throw line a lot. And I think that is where he can get some early production for Carolina, even as he's trying to become a consistent shooter. I reference questions, that's number one. Will he hit threes? There's reason to believe he may, there's reason to believe he may not. But I think now he doesn't need to do that because he can handle it well enough, he's quick enough, he has a really good first step, he's a good finisher, but even when he doesn't finish, he gets to the foul line, and when he gets to the foul line, he makes his free throws.
Oh, that is something Carolina fans definitely need to hear. He makes his free throws. Breaking news. You mentioned his shooting a little bit, and we've seen his shooting improve a lot over the past couple of years. Where do you think it has changed the most? Mechanics? Is he becoming more comfortable? Confidence? What was it that improved his shooting?
He has brought his elbow in. Okay. He used to have the proverbial flying elbow. And he's brought that in. Now, he still has some mechanical hang-ups. I think he's off balance a lot of times. For me, I'm optimistic about him as an open three-point shooter. I mean, wide open.
Okay. But nobody within a 5-foot radius.
But that's important, too. That's good. I think that will be a good building block for him. I'm less optimistic about him being a contested shooter or pressure situations. He needs to be relaxed and in rhythm. I think Justin Jackson would be more likely to hit a contested one if it came to it. Not that either of them will be specializing in that or will be encouraged to take them. But I think that's kind of where he's come along.
Defense. Talk about his defensive performance and what you see there and what he'll bring to the table.
I think he's going to be an outstanding defender. I think he will be an above-average defender as a freshman. He'll need to get stronger, of course, but by the time he's a sophomore, if he becomes a junior, then I think he'll be one of the best defenders in the ACC. He has very quick feet, long arms, good instincts, he's tough, he's competitive, and he has an outstanding motive.
You've mentioned Justin Jackson and possibly Pinson, one of the two starting next year. When you see Theo on next year's team, where do you see him fitting in?
Theo is more of a guard than not only Justin Jackson, but also JP Tokoto. So for that reason, that would be his leg up, that he is more natural for the backcourt than either of the other two wings. The downside for him may be that I think Jackson is a little bit more ready to come in and score. And I think that team is going to prioritize its scoring. So I think that to me it's 50-50, maybe 55-45 in favor of Jackson, but it's going to be very competitive. For me in the preseason, the most important reports or intel we can get will be who's winning that competition. I'm assuming that Tokoto will be one of the starters. I think his experience will pay off. That's where I think, regardless if he starts, I think Pinson, like Jackson, will play about 20 minutes per game at the minimum.
Final question. When you look at Theo's ranking at number 19, is that where you would have placed him?
Put me on the spot here. I think he's probably more like top 15.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, fans will be encouraged to hear that.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit better than even we have him. there again, I saw him more, maybe there is a local bias, because that does happen sometimes, even when you don't mean for it to. But I really don't think that's true. I mean, I've been around a long time, probably longer than I'd like to admit. And I think that he has been successful enough against national people. This not only includes McDonald's stuff, but going back to last summer with CP3, the Peach Jam and how great he was there. So for me, I think you could even slide him in that 13-14 range. I think if you want to participate in the Carolina Duke stuff, I think he and Justice Winslow, who's going to Duke, are arguable either way, and Winslow's right around top 15.
All right, well, Carolina fans will be encouraged to hear that. That's going to be it for this edition. Tune in next time when we cover Joel Berry. Thanks, everyone.